Can we talk about it? Can we talk about it? Talk about it. Can we talk about it? Can we talk about it? Talk about it. Talk about it. Take a minute, let's talk about it. How about a minute? Can we talk about it? Can we talk about it? Talk about it. Can we talk about it? Can we talk about it? Talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it.
Hi, I want to welcome you to our very first episode of Let's Talk About It, where you always have a voice. I'm your host, Carrie Holmes, and today we're going to be talking about why youth voice in our systems of foster care, mental health, juvenile justice, substance abuse, and so many others is very important. Today we have with us Ms. Melanie Hecker, who's a 19-year-old resident of Albany, New York. She's currently employed by Youth Power as their key youth engagement consultant. Melanie works with various counties to make sure that we have youth voice and youth engagement in our systems. Guess what else? Melanie's also duly diagnosed. So Melanie, we're glad to have you today to hear what you have to say.
Yes.
So you want to tell us a little bit more about what it means to be duly diagnosed?
Well, it's rather simple. Being duly diagnosed means that you have more than one condition. Now, in my case, my two conditions are Asperger's syndrome, a developmental disability, and bipolar disorder, a mental health issue. But dual diagnosis can refer to any combination. Now, there are people that think that dual diagnosis refers exclusively to mental health and substance abuse. But that's just plain not true. It can apply to anything, and it makes it really hard to get services.
So what you're saying is being duly diagnosed, you can have two diagnoses from two different systems.
Oh, yes.
So why do you think that that's not known across the board?
I think it's not known across the board because cases with duly diagnosed youth are so difficult. I feel that a lot of the time we're ignored.
Well, it must be difficult to access services between the two systems.
It's difficult because if I try to get services from some place that specializes in developmental disability, they won't want to take me because of my mental health issue. On the flip side, a lot of places that deal with mental health don't want to give me services because of the developmental disability. And it was especially hard to find a school program because, you see, my home school district, decided that because of my two diagnoses, they couldn't handle me.
Wow.
So I went school hunting. And the different programs that specialized in developmental disability, again, did not want me because of the mental health. They felt they couldn't handle it.
Well, you're a successful young lady here
Yep.
today. You've gone to school. You're currently in college. So did you find a school program that helped you? How did you get here?
Well, yes. Because after the mental health places rejected me for the developmental disability and vice versa, I eventually found a program called the BOCES Interdisciplinary Skill Program that had a teacher named Mr. Lockwood who accepted me and took me in for who I was.
So do you feel like your voice was heard in your, transition and in your process of trying to get through the system?
Well, at first, no. When I was a young teenager and my mental health started to surface, I felt like a lot of the time my doctors and parents and teachers would make decisions about me without asking me first, and I felt that was wrong, and it was a similar thing when making decisions about my developmental disability.
So how do you think it would have been different if people listened to what you had to say?
I feel like things would have been a lot more streamlined if my service providers had listened to me and listened to other youth like me.
Okay, so from a cross-systems perspective, why would you say youth voice is important in our foster care system, our mental health system, our substance abuse systems, our juvenile justice systems? How can, service providers listen to what we have to say in order to make the system better?
Well, youth voice is important because we're the ones with the actual experience. We're the ones that know what it's like to have a mental health issue or a disability or been in a foster care placement or be a juvenile offender. We're the ones with the actual experience. And even though it's nice to have a PhD or a doctorate and have a whole bunch of university and college training, you know, youth need to supplement the decisions made by those people if we really need to get things done in the interest of youth.
So I know that you are the key youth engagement consultant for Youth Power, and some of your role is, well, your main role is to help increase youth voice and youth engagement. How do you do that?
I do that through a lot of ways. One of the ways that I'm accomplishing this is by developing a youth involvement toolkit. Now, you see, as youth engagement consultant, I help to oversee a grant called Upstate New York Systems of Care Expansion. And systems of care is the philosophy that all of the different systems, like mental health and substance abuse and juvenile justice and developmental disability, they should communicate A, with resources like schools and community groups, and B, with each other.
So what would you say is the most rewarding part of your job?
The most rewarding part of my job is just knowing that through what I'm doing, we'll be able to unite the systems and hopefully youth like myself that need more than one system won't have difficulty doing so in the future.
So Melanie, I need you to do one more thing for me. I need you to look straight into that camera, and I need you to visualize all the youth that are going to be watching this video. These are youth that have been in foster care. These are youth that have been in the mental health system. These are the youth that have been in juvenile justice. They've been in jail. They've had struggles with substance abuse. And all across the board, they feel like their voice is just not heard. I need you to encourage them. I need you to give them a word of advice that's going to motivate them to speak up and to speak out about the things that they're encountering and that they're facing within their system.
My word of advice to you, don't give up. Never give up fighting for what you believe in and for the voice that you really do need. Because without youth voice, where would we be? And you deserve to have input in your own treatment plans. You deserve to have a say in your own life. And I hope that someday people that require more than one system will be able to receive the services instead of being kicked to the curb because they're too difficult. So I'm not going to give up fighting for that future, and you should never give up fighting for your future.
Well, there you have it. I couldn't have said it better myself. I want to thank Melanie for joining us today on Let's Talk About It. I think what you had to say was excellent, and I hope that someone was encouraged and motivated. And for all you out there that's watching, I want to encourage you to stay tuned for more Let's Talk About It episodes. But until then, remember to speak up and to speak out. What you have to say has value, and here you always have a voice.
You